to believe that one of these could result in felony embezzlement charges, but that's exactly what happened to McBride, and now she's dealing with even greater issues because of it.
The first thing she told me was felony embezzlement. So I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
It was a moment of disbelief for Karen McBride as she was talking to the Cleveland County District Attorney's Office this week, where she learned she was a wanted felon for never returning Sabrina the Teenage Witch on VHS 21 years ago. A movie she says she never even rented.
No, actually, I had lived with the young man. This was over 20 years ago. He had two kids, daughters that were 8, 10, 11 years old. And I'm thinking he went and got it and didn't take it back or something. I don't know. I have never watched that show in my entire life. Just not my cup of tea.
Online documents show McBride was charged with embezzlement in March of 2000, but never knew about the charges until recently when trying to change her name on her license after getting married.
And they told me that I had an issue in Oklahoma, and this was the reference number for me to call this number, and I did. And meanwhile, I'm a wanted felon for a VHS tape.
Documents show the movie was rented at Movie Place in Norman, Oklahoma. We've since learned that business closed in 2008. Ed Blau with Blau Law Firm told us Tuesday, even though there's technically no victim now in the case, because charges were filed and a warrant was issued against McBride, Cleveland County could still prosecute the case.
I mean, I didn't try to deceive anyone over Samantha the Teenage Witch. I swear.
McBride says over the last 20 years, she's been let go from several jobs without giving a reason why, and says now it all makes sense.
This is wise because when they ran my criminal background check, all they're seeing is those two words, felony embezzlement.
Now, the good news is we did reach out to the Cleveland County District Attorney's Office earlier this week about McBride's case, and they said after talking to us and reviewing it, it will be dismissed. In the meantime, Blau says she'll need to have it expunged in order to clear her record. In Oklahoma City tonight, I'm Erica Stanish, Fox 25 News.
3 weeks ago, we first reported a story that has since gone viral. An Oklahoma woman was charged with felony embezzlement for not returning a VHS tape 21 years ago.
Tonight, we're learning there's more cases like that out there, and they're actually more common than you'd think. Fox 25's Erica Stanish has your back. She talked with an attorney and explains how this can happen.
The felony for a VHS tape. It's unbelievable.
For decades, Karen McBride was a wanted felon, all because of this. An unreturned copy of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. The charge, felony embezzlement.
I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I've never been in trouble like that, ever.
It's that trouble that led to a warrant for her arrest and the title felon on her record. And it all happened without her knowing about it for 21 years.
I've been pulled over, had citations, etc. Never a problem whatsoever.
As strange as Karen's case is, it's not unique. We've uncovered story after story of unreturned tapes leading to unwanted warrants.
Then I heard somebody knocking at the door. And as soon as I got in the door, they said, "We have a warrant for your arrest."
Michelle Kemp lives in Norman. In 1996, she was charged for renting and failing to return 2 tapes. And she even went to jail for it.
I was like, this isn't right. You guys must have the wrong person. I've never been in any trouble in my life. I've never had a speeding ticket.
It's not just tapes turning people into unsuspecting felons. This man has been in and out of the court system before, but a case dating back to 1995 slipped through the cracks. It wasn't until this year, 26 years later, that police found that warrant and arrested him. The alleged crime, pawning something most pawn shops probably wouldn't even give you money for now, VCRs. And police said those VCRs were stolen. Unpaid parking tickets, speeding tickets, unreturned movies, all those things can slip your mind easily. But if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you could end up here in court, pleading your case for a case that's decades old. It's even harder to find out if you have an old outstanding warrant. Bonnie Bloomert is an assistant public defender in Oklahoma County. She says there's no statewide or national database to check for warrants.
You have state charges that happen at the county level. You have charges that get filed on folks at the municipal level. You may also have warrants that you might pick up from other states and other jurisdictions in other states. So it can be hard even for those agencies to check and find everything.
With no single place to look up warrants, Bloomert says it comes down to checking with each court or police agency, which isn't always easy.
Even if you called, for example, a court clerk's office, they may not be able to find it if the name is misspelled, or if the case is so old, maybe it's not popping up.
Luckily for McBride, her case was expunged, but the outrage still exists.
How many have we thrown in jail over this? Over silly things like this.
As for Kemp, her case was dismissed, but it's still on her record.
There's no telling how many jobs I didn't get because of that. Who knows? You know? That's crazy.
Bloomert says there's one way to prevent these types of things from happening: establishing a statute of limitations to certain types of warrants. A statute like that would help district attorneys be kind and rewind to wipe the tape or slate clean for unknowing felons. Erica Stanish, Fox 25 News.